You're watching Guude. You're watching Guude. Fighting just to save our lives. Got you laughing every night.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, and don't worry, guys. I'm not standing here at this spawner for long.
We've done enough of that. Did you see Bill Cosby got sentenced today? Or not
I
sentenced,
saw, and I was not expecting that actually.
Really? I mean, did you read some of his testimony?
Not from the recent trial, from the last one, and when it got a hung jury last time. Maybe I gave into the hype that everybody kept saying that he probably won't even go to trial again. Like they're going to be done with this. He's old. It was a hung jury. They're just going to,
I guess I didn't see all that. I was reading some of his testimony from this current trial, and he got on the stand and said, yeah, I gave her 3 Benadryl, and she passed out, and I had sex with her, and she was asleep, and to me...
Oh, he actually said that?
Yeah, he said, to me, not saying no or not saying anything is the same as consent.
Wow, I did not know that was...
Yeah, I was a little bit blown away by that. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, what lawyer did he have? What the fuck? Just plead the fifth, my man.
I mean, the one thing that I will give the man credit, then, he doesn't even care about lying anymore at this point. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
Well, whenever they were, the judge for the lawyer for the other side said, said he shouldn't be granted parole because he owns a private plane. He's a flight risk. And he said, I don't own no fucking private plane. Like, just in the middle of court. So, yeah, he's an old man.
Well, what I thought I read that he got released back to his house while waiting on sentencing.
Really? I mean...
And because they said something like in the prosecution is going to, try to appeal that. And I'm just like, well, of course. You just literally got sentenced where you're going to spend the rest of your, or you got proven, guilty, where you're going to spend the rest of your life. You're 80 years old. If you get a sentence that's, 10 years, you're probably going to die in jail.
Right.
Of course I would try to run away.
Yeah, but Bill Cosby's going to have a hard time running away.
I mean, that's true, but I would still try.
I mean, he probably has a hard time running, period, honestly, at his age.
But if I was about to spend the rest of my life in jail, the rest of my life, what does it hurt you at that point to try to run?
Honestly, at his age, I would probably kill myself before I would go to prison for the rest of my life.
That's also another possibility. And honestly, I'm kind of okay with, like, it's one of those things. I've always been... The whole suicide thing for me, I think people can make their own choices if they need to make their own choices. I think a lot of people make that choice to commit suicide not thinking clearly in kind of like the heat of the moment, or because they didn't seek help that would have helped them. But I do believe that there's some people that get to the point where if they really are determined and this is really what they want to do, I'm not the one to stand in their way,
right?
Type of deal. Or in the case where you're 80 years old and all you're going to take up the taxpayer dollar because you committed heinous crimes in the past and now you're going to jail for the rest of your life and you choose to take your own life, I am not against that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree completely on this subject. I mean, I don't know. I guess a lot of people will be like, that's bullshit. He just rot in prison. But I mean, really, like what you just said, he's just going to take up our fucking taxpayer money to do that rotten.
Right. Yeah. You got to look at it. And that counterpoint, and I do kind of agree with the counterpoint, is that you're kind of making it seem like you committed crimes and you pretty much have no punishment for it. Yeah, saying that you're already old and you don't have much of a life to live anymore past a certain age, most people. And given by the health that I understand that he's in, blind some days and all that stuff, he's not living that much anymore.
Right.
Yeah, you are kind of skirting away from the penalties. But on the other side of that is there's complete closure. He did it himself. It's not like I'm not saying like give him the death penalty. That's a whole different topic of somebody else killing you versus, you killing yourself. And it does cost a shit ton of money for. Basically, it's like you committed a crime, so somehow you caught me.
Right. I mean, where's he going to even be at? Like, he's going to have to be in some like minimum security place, I imagine, right?
I don't know.
Like, his max sentence is 30 years. Here's the thing, though, too. He's probably going to appeal, so he ain't going to prison right now.
Well, he'll still go to prison during your appeal, don't you?
No.
If you're guilty, you still go to prison. I think you can still run the appeals process in prison, but you're still in prison.
I don't know if that's true.
I'm pretty sure it is.
My phone's dead. I can't Google it. Oh, I got this other computer over here. I'm gonna Google it over here.
I'm pretty positive that just because that's why people when they like for death penalties and stuff, it takes 20 years before somebody on death row usually dies. A lot of it's because they're still going through their multiple different appeals that they're allowed to have. But they're still in prison during that time because they were found guilty. They're no longer innocent until proven guilty. They're proven guilty at that point, but can appeal that decision. Oh, by the way, we didn't say this at the beginning. We looked at the video, and it looks like it's 80 to 82 rows wide total, with a total of, it was 40 rows of wheat with a row in between each one. So it's 80, but I don't know if there was things on the edges, so we're saying 82 rows wide. And it looks like about 20 layers worth, which were 7 down each layer. So that's going to be a long way down. And we're thinking about trying to make it even bigger and more, instead of doing a row of water in between, trying to do it with maximizing the amount of planted stuff, so it gives a better chance of crashing the server with those dimensions. I thought Guude would have searched this by now.
So I'm reading. I did search it. I'm reading.
I think he's reading that I am correct in every way.
It says, while getting out of jail is difficult, it's not impossible. The attorney will work alongside you to prove three things to the judge that will help you get out of prison while the appeal is pending. The first thing is to show that you're not going to be a hazard to society. That means that you won't bring harm to or to be a danger to anyone or yourself during your time out. The next thing is that you have to prove that you won't leave the country or try to run from the law. The final thing you need to convince the judge is that you're likely to win the appeal. So if those three things are true...
Wait, if you're likely to win the appeal, why are you there anyway?
Well, you know, today his lawyer fell asleep while the reports are his lawyer fell asleep during the process. That could have been staged. So that could be one of the things
he had a chance for an appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lawyers are purposely being ineffective counsel,
right?
So that you can have a better shot at an appeal.
It's possible. I don't know if it's true that his lawyer fell asleep. It's just something I read. So who knows how true that is, but it's possible. It's dark. I just never would have thought in my lifetime I'd see Bill Cosby go to prison.
What about the Golden State Killer?
I don't know what that is.
So, guy in the 70s and 80s who committed multiple rapes up and down California, multiple, like 12 murders and like 40 or 50 rapes or something like that. I don't know if I have those numbers correct. Cases, like leads went cold in like the late 80s, and it's been an unsolved case ever since. They caught what they think is him.
How?
That's the part that I can't figure out. It's all over the news right now, and all they keep saying is DNA linked him too. And I don't understand how they all of a sudden got DNA from a guy, because he's like 72 years old now. And how did you all of a sudden get DNA from a guy who's 72 for some reason that put him in jail?
How did they have DNA from way the fuck back then?
Were you counting as well?
No, I was not. I was putting down torches.
Oh, I was counting like with 10 torches in rows of 10, and I looked over and it looked like you were doing it torches in rows of 5.
No, I was just trying to light it up so we'd stop getting spawns. Did I fuck you up by putting down torches though?
No, because I haven't gotten that far.
Oh, okay.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shit, I miscounted.
That's pretty wild though.
7, 10. Yeah, I mean, I'm super intrigued about it, but when all the articles DNA evidence matched him to. Well, how? You never told me how this DNA evidence matched him. Where'd you get DNA? How did you get a 72-year-old man's DNA? Did he submit it to like 23andMe? And they were like, by the way, you're a murderer. Like, in his
By
profile.
the way, you're
Like,
we've matched your ancestry to murder.
I don't get it. Like, what was this man doing that all of a sudden his DNA got out there? And why did they all of a sudden start looking at this if they have a profile of this man's DNA? How does every, like, and this is where people are going to think that I'm crazy when I say this, because then nobody would do it or something like that. I honestly think anytime you submit DNA for anything, they draw blood from anything, there should be a DNA profile somewhere that can link you to crimes.
Right. I mean, yeah, why not? Well,
Yeah,
I guess people will be up in arms about that. I can see why people are going to be up in arms. Or I know people are going to be up in arms because people are, that's like violation of privacy.
Yeah, and I don't believe that that's a violation of privacy. I think that they're living in America. You should be able to, like, if a crime happens, like, your DNA should be on profile. Like, it's kind of interesting when the murders happen and they don't get DNA
it's
matches.
relatives DNA. Golden State Killer caught by using relatives DNA from genealogy website.
Wait, what? Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Here now with more.
It was so they went through like the genealogy databases, found what would have been like a match from this old DNA that they had for a relative, and they followed it up from there. That's fucking genius police work.
Yeah, it says the district attorney's office in California explored online family trees that appeared to have matches to DNA samples from the East Area rapist crimes. They then followed clues to individuals in the family tree to determine whether they were potential suspects. Wow, this guy, you know, he thought he was fucking clear for... He thought he was good. He was good for life. He got away with all this shit. And then one of his little grandkids, his little... Oh, man, you know he hates that child.
Probably. Oh, you know what? This is exactly 80 blocks wide right now.
Really? Yeah, I did that.
Up, up to right here. Should be 80 blocks.
Hold on, let's put a marker on each.
But if we want to make it 82, right? So one more on each side. Should we do?
Should we do? Should we do pop? Bing, bang, boom.
Should we do, Bob?
Hold on.
That's I was kidding when I said something about 23andMe. But that makes sense, and I'm okay with that. And I know it's funny. I got my 23andMe profile.
Oh, you got it back?
Yeah, I got it back. I'm European. I don't know what else to say. 96.8% European or whatever it is.
All right, where's the spots? Here, put these on them.
Oh, I'm full. Get out of here, eggs. So
Stupid eggs.
Spots would be. So this would be 80. I'm gonna put it one farther. So we have 82 total blocks. This actually might be 81. Yeah, 81. There we go. That's one side. And that's pillar over there is the other side. So, you know, I told you that, you know, my wife wouldn't do it because she's all worried about how they use it and how they give permission to blah, blah, blah. So I put a fake name in mine. Oh. And granted, it's not the greatest fake name in the world, but it's a fake name enough. And it was funny. I actually had somebody contact me on it today because I opened it up for, like, you know, the people, other people to see if they wanted to see it or whatever, in case they thought they were, you know, related. And I had somebody message me and was like, "Hi, like, it looks like we're, you know, possibly second cousins or somewhere in the family tree or something like that. You know, this is my last name now. These are other last names that are in my lineage. Like, I don't recognize your last name at all, but, you know, does any of that sound familiar?" And one of them definitely was familiar. And I was like, "Oh yeah. This one is definitely familiar. By the way, the last name on this profile is not actually my last name. It has nothing to do with anybody I'm blood related to."
You didn't tell me you used a fake name when you were talking about this before.
Yeah, well, when Julia started flipping out about it, and it's funny too because you can go into the profile, go change the name whenever I want. In there, which normally the names, you know, on sites are not. So I'm sure I'm not the only person who's done this.
Right. Okay, so there's that and that. Let's...
I mean, let's hope the DC Board of Nursing doesn't get a hold of it. It'll be public knowledge for everybody.
Oh, God.
So I'm thinking I'm going to start digging a couple layers of just like a 10 by section here. I guess, would this be the top layer already?
Hmm?
The layer that we've already dug out is the top layer, technically.
What do you mean
right?
by top?
It's a... I guess... Whatever. We'll just... This needs to be dirt. Ow!
That almost killed me.
Ow! Where did that guy come from?
Over the hill, through the woods.
Grandmother's house?
Yeah.
What grandma?
Grandma, not lighting shit up.
I knew she was crazy. Yeah, so I thought that was really intriguing that they actually caught this guy after how many years? And yeah, this 72-year-old dude who has committed 12 murders and never gotten multiple rapes.
That's just the fact the way they called him. Oh man, there's a man.
Go on.
He's
a man.
He's a creeping man.
A creeping man. Speaking of the Golden State Killer.
All right. So what are you doing?
Starting to dig into some layers.
Okay. So you're placing more blocks. Okay. I'm.
Well,
really
I gotta place.
confused.
I gotta make it dirt, right?
Yeah. So, but only
right now I'm just putting down dirt, and then I'll.
1, 2, 3.
Because we gotta test how water flows in a single channel versus what the hell?
So that's 7 right there from this dirt. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 7. Okay. Yeah, I didn't count that. Okay, so I'm assuming. Oops.
So then if we got a layer above it here. See, the way I did it before, the reason why I had the half slabs and all that is because I really thought that was necessary to get the water. Because, like, if I put water here right now, it's going to go that way.
It might have been. It might be.
That's the only spot it's going to get over is from the originating block. Originating? Yep. You know what I'm saying there?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and you made your water split in such an interesting way that one source block ran the whole thing, which is pretty fucking cool.
I think that's necessary to test this again too, because of the way water physics in Minecraft are so buggy. The more you're going to split one water source, the more it's going to tax the CPU. So I think we want it to be one water source again.
Right. No, I would agree. And that probably wouldn't be possible trying to do layers then, huh?
Yeah, I think you're gonna.
Theoretically, you can get. Oh no, because you need the water to actually go over the edge.
Right.
To the next one. Well, wait a minute. We might be able to do 3 wide.
No, I don't think so. How?
Well, let's pretend for a minute. So this would be like an in-betweener, right? And this would be an in-betweener.
Well, actually, remember it goes up, not down.
Wait, what do you mean?
It's like this.
Oh, because it was half slabs. Right. So you do that. The water source still goes here. So it gets everything here, and then the water source still comes straight down in the middle to start that thing again, right?
Well, you got to keep in mind too that it needs to come. All right, so it needs to come down. Hold on, let's test this. So this will be
will it work on the next layer? Things gonna get stuck, but at the same time, if things get stuck, that kind of helps our purpose of it not putting all the entities together to collect, right?
I mean, I think we still want all the entities to get all the way down to the bottom.
Okay.
So
So yeah, if you
1, 2,
branch that
3,
out.
4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's how it would technically go.
Then just put the walls on, and I'll throw the water down again, and we can see what it does.
Yeah, that'll work actually.
Yeah, I think that will work. So we could do 3 because that'll maximize the amount of crops we can have. The only question I have is, was there a certain way? I have to look at the video again. Does your water splitting technique work if it's more than just the next block over?
What do you mean?
Because you have your one source block splits into, what is it? Each layer of that thing, right?
Yeah, but it comes out that, like, let's pretend we're at the very, very top of it all. Now it'll come out of
Right.
something like this. So we'll just have to make sure we can split it where it comes out. It's like a plinko that happens above it, like a wall
You
plinko.
think we'll be able to plinko it to blocks that are not just right next to each other, though?
I think so.
Like if I put, actually, so I had this thing.
Because if we have it like blocked in, right? So,
Oops. Damn it, that didn't work at all. Yeah, I'm thinking if I had this thing like this.
hold on. I'm out of dirt. Let me grab some dirt.
Oh, yeah.
You got some dirt?
Yeah, you're trying to block this thing in.
Yeah. I need one on this side of it over here.
There.
And then take that block out. So yeah, you should be able to come down to like right here, and then it would split multiple ways and go there and there.
But if I put one source block into here, it's going to go forward.
Well, there'll be walls all the
I'd
way
have
up.
I'd have to do like this, and then it actually should. Oh, well, need to make this longer so it doesn't go for that path.
Right. I mean, this is going everywhere, but it'll be a wall on both sides, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we could work it out to do the way we want it to do.
All right, I say we do 3 wide then,
Yeah.
and then we might have to do 90 across then, or to make it. Oh no, it's 3 plus 1 for the layers in the middle. I'm trying to make sure we dig this so we end up with an even number.
Right. Well, let's
In
go
the
ahead
middle.
and map it out. I say.
I say you. So obviously this is off right here. We probably want 1 layer on the edge. So let's say this is our edge layer for a wall or whatnot.
Right.
So 1, 2, 3.
Right. We don't have to put the whole wall right now. We can just put 1 block to kind of signify the walls.
Yeah, I just want to make sure this is gonna be. I don't know why I just put that down there, but whatever I did.
So then 1, 2, 3 wall. 1, 2,
I just
3
took this
wall.
out.
1, 2, 3 wall. 1, 2, 3 wall. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. There we go.
So there we go.
And you got a good ending,
Yeah.
about the same size.
Yeah, it's almost the same size. It's like 1 block further over here on this side.
Perfect. And we're gonna try to take this thing from
Bedrock to build height.
Bedrock to build height. Whew! Is it going to be a build?
It's gonna take a little while. I think in between episodes we should spend some time in the spawner and get better tools there.
I agree. I haven't been doing much digging because I'm not going to dig very fast. Well, then my pick would probably do okay as we're getting down into this stuff, but we still need. It's probably still going to die at some point. We probably need more diamonds.
Yeah,
to be repairing this stuff.
I messed up over here. The first one I put down was only 2 wide, so I'm off by 1 all the way across. But still, that doesn't really change much. It just makes it 1 further on the other side. So yeah. But I guess digging down, if we know where the walls are at, we can. Unless we're gonna do half slabs again, which they looked kind of cool. So I'd recommend.
Yeah, the half slabs look good for sure. But this is what we're doing, right? And I guess we can make sure this works in 2 of these things now. And we're gonna say it's gonna go here. Wait, do I have something? I have something wrong down here. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
There we go. I was like, something does not look right there. Let's make sure that this is gonna work before we go too crazy with it. That's this is still off.
Yeah, it's off. Oh yeah, because it moved over. Right.
Yeah, because we moved the whole thing over. So this. Okay, so if I do this.
Yeah. I guess the only other thing we need to do, we could plant some wheat in here just to double test to make sure that it all breaks and goes, but I don't see any reason why it wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't either. But yeah, perfect. I think we can, three wide is probably a good number for this.
And then we put the water in between each one underneath the half slabs.
Right. And then I'll keep them all hydrated.
Yep.
And good to go.
All right. Well, that's our plan. Hope you've enjoyed watching, and we'll work on getting tools and stuff and do more digging next time.
All right, guys. See you next time.